have another outlet. This room sounds great, where you really get to have conversations with these artists. Is that your outlet for digging a little deeper and
Yeah.
what's that experience like?
Yeah, we noticed in watching the stats and metrics on Shaco Sessions Live that if we talked too much, people were leaving. They were there for the music, and that's cool. And I said, well, I have to talk to these people. I need to find out what makes them tick. So we started the podcast, and that is the best. Everybody's comfortable. That's when I get to ask them, what's your guilty pleasure? I'll ask them again, you know, what's the silliest way you've hurt yourself? When you guys travel, who's the stinky person in the van?
Damn.
You know, who's organized? When you go to different cities, what do you look at? I just love being that real, you know?
Yeah.
And most bands are approachable like that. Some have a little persona and want you to think a certain thing, but most of them are so happy to show their dorky side. They just love it.
Yeah, because I'm sure people, you know, get asked the same questions all the time. And it's so when you have a moment of just a curveball in there, I think it lightens things up.
And successful bands are successful because they're connecting with their audience. Like all the people you see on social media that have the best followings, it's because they're what I find, they're posting regularly and it's very intimate. Here we are cooking breakfast. Here we are behind the scenes. Here's our dog. Like they let you in. And so This Room Sounds Great is a great way to just let them in a little bit. You get to hear them chat with each other. You get to hear them boost each other up. That's the other thing. So many musicians in Richmond are part of different bands. One person's a part of 5 bands.
Right.
So if you interview them with all the different bands, you just hear how supportive everybody is about each other. It's incredible.
Nice. What's something that you took away from one of those conversations that has kind of like stuck with you?
The first one that really wowed me was Rodney the soul singer Stith, because he had performed a couple of times, and then I finally got to interview him, and he has a stutter. And I don't think most people would know that. And he doesn't have it when he sings, but he has it when he speaks, and he was just great about me being very candid and asking, do you have a stutter with your inner monologue? Like, you know, this just comes from a place of curiosity. I wouldn't know, and how he likes to advocate for certain things, that even if you have something that's a perceived challenge in your art form, you just go for it, you just get over it and keep working. So I thought that was really cool. Michael Hawkins, with the Brotherhood, he's a stand-up bass player. He was an incredible conversation. He taught me all about go-go music.
Nice.
It was incredible. I got an education. They're all just incredible when you hear about their tours around the world and funny stories that have happened or things that they've learned when they were on tour. It's just incredible.
That's really dope. That's not the only podcast that you have done. It looks like it's been since 2020.
It's been a while, yeah.
It's been since 2020, but you do have another podcast called Spying on Humanity. Where did that project come from? What made you want to do that? Is that pandemic related? We're inside, we got to do something?
That one honestly came from, I have been recording myself interviewing things since I was 9. I used to interview my stuffed animals.
Who was the best answerer? Who gave the best responses?
Holly Hobby was a very gripping interview. Yes,
Okay.
yes, we got to the nitty gritty.
She's been through some shit in her life?
She's been through some shit. Strawberry shortcake, she dished it all.
Wow.
She knows. But I've always loved the idea of asking people questions, hearing the answers, digging a little deeper. So I started Spying on Humanity a few years ago, and the point is to be able to talk about anything in a very safe, factual but fun place. So we've talked about dating, we've talked about race, we've talked about generational divides, but not the divide, just the differences in generations. So I love having a platform to talk about different perspectives in a very, very positive, just informative way. Oh, a boomer would have never thought that a millennial has this behavior because of the way that generation has perceived the world.
Right, or had
but
their experiences,
fun, not so uptight, but in a fun way. I love for people to feel safe enough to learn from each other.
Yeah. I mean, we all need more conversations. That's how any of this gets passed around. Yeah. We'll work on it. So thank you for contributing to that conversation.
And that one's, like I said, that'll be any topic in the world. So
that's just whatever you're feeling, that's what it is. Any plans for a second season or a continuation?
Yeah, I've got 3 that I have to edit. One is great. One is on bad dates.
Oh,
and
sick.
It is great. I chatted with 2 ladies for about 3 hours, so that'll probably be a 2-parter. I mean, bad dates can go on and on and on. That could be its own podcast. But I have one on bad dates, and I have one about spirituality. That they're there. I just need to edit them. So whatever it is, come on board and we'll chat.